Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. We're going to talk about this massive deficit spending that's going on, and we're going to talk about the continued inflation that we're going to see going into this 2024. We're going to talk about Fed rate cuts. There's going to be a lot of stuff to go over. The reason why I bring it up is because this is a story out of Zero Hedge, but you're being deceived. We're pushing off recession. Biden first had to change the definition of recession, so because of fear that it was going to happen on his watch. And now we're seeing massive deficit spending that's actually causing our country to show a positive GDP growth, okay? So good morning to everyone that's just said good morning. I hope you have some coffee, because I do not. But it's almost time to go to the gym, so I'll go get something before that. All right, here we go. This story is entitled Massive Deficit Spending Keeping the U.S. Economy Out of Recession for Now. It says economic growth continues to defy expectations of a slowdown and recession due to continued increases in deficit spending. In fact, the U.S. Treasury recently reported the December budget deficit, which shows the U.S. collected $429 billion through various taxes, while total outlays hit $559 billion. What is that, a 20% increase? So they're spending 20% more, something like that. This is some quick ninja math. You know how I did math. But we are in a moment where they are spending us into this stretched, delusional reality. And many people are falling for it. I can guarantee you most people watching this video are not falling for it. And it says, as noted, the problem remains on how the economy has avoided a recession despite the Fed's aggressive rate hiking campaign. Numerous indicators from the leading economic index to the yield curve suggest a high probability of an economic recession, but one has yet to occur. For explanation for this has been the surge in federal expenditures since the end of the 2022, stemming from Inflation Reduction and CHIPS Acts. The second reason is that the GDP was so grossly elevated from the $5 trillion in previous fiscal policies that lag effect is taking longer than historical norms to resolve. We saw the GDP just bump up. What was it, 2.3%? Or it wasn't 3%. I don't remember off the top of my head. In October, because of war spending, and number two, factories being built. Yet manufacturing, the US manufacturing index has been falling off a cliff. These are, we used to make fun of China's ghost cities. We're now building ghost companies. We're building ghost factories. These are empty buildings being built in preparation for China moving into Taiwan. This is a very serious time. Sorry, I was just taken back out of the corner of my eye. The American flag that's attached to this house really started moving. Our country is being greatly deceived. And so we need to do our best to warn people, but give them a plan on how to crush it. And that's what blows me away, is that people, they're creatures of habit. They all forget. Every 7 to 10 years, there's a recession. Every 50 to 100, there's massive crashes. But it's because they don't want that stuff in your textbooks, your economic textbooks. Why? Because you'd be constantly looking for the next opportunity. You wouldn't be out there blowing money like crazy. You'd be saving money getting ready for this. So it says here, given the length of time and the fact that the collection rate fell further, it suggests that there is more to the decline. Check this out. Look at this little quote. California's tax payments are delayed due to the emergency declaration. However, that doesn't account for the magnitude of the decline in filings. Secondly, given the shuttering of the entire economy in 2020, which also delayed filings nationwide, the extent of the current decrease seems more than just a single event. So they're talking about how they're having a hard time getting tax revenues in. They're not wanting you to see that they're spending more. They're going, hey, we should have gotten all this money, but because California delayed their tax filings, that's why. It's absolutely insane. Tax receipts, they say, send a warning. The change in federal tax receipts is essential as the government's revenue is from the taxes on both corporate and individual incomes. Unsurprisingly, if revenues and incomes decline, such would reflect economic activity. So as people are paying less in taxes, is because they're making less money. You know, that's the thing about taxes. Very few Americans are tax savvy. They don't think, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of me on this channel. I got wrecked, I could care less, by a bunch of morons, and they are. Because morons, let me explain this. The definition of moron should be someone that speaks about something they have no concept about and or have never done said concept. I talked about during this housing run up, and I was talking about a crash happening. I decided to go buy a property. My wife really wanted it. And the only reason I agreed to it and put an offer in was because I was going to make money 5 different ways in the property. And the write-offs, the write-offs were going to pay for the payments for the first 3 years. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It's a way of structuring a couple of different entities with the structure, with the real estate, the business that would have been brought in because of the real estate that I couldn't have gotten without the special type of real estate. I would have, the first 3 years payments were made, and I don't care, to a certain extent, I don't care what the price the property does, because if I'm gonna hold it through the downturn and sell it on the next upswing, and in the meantime, I did this with my last property in 2005, the one that I bought at the top of the peak. I even told my wife when we bought it, I said, it's gonna fall 50%, and it fell 46. But that house paid for itself 3 times. I know it's hard to believe. But there are a lot of people, because I made money from the property, running a palm tree business, selling tractors, things like that, right? I made so much money with that property that I could not have made with a normal property, like a cookie cutter track house. Then on this other one, the write-offs were going to be immense because they're going to be agriculture style write-offs. There's other ones involved also because I would have 2 businesses running out of it, right? But I got worked on it. Like, you're a charlatan. You don't know what you're talking. You're saying it's crashing, you're buying. And I'm like, I make money in up markets and down markets. That's what successful people do. I don't know what to tell you. I have to teach to the masses, people that still believe their greatest asset is their home. And the sad thing is, it's actually sort of true because that's the greatest bit of pocket of money that they'll have from the appreciation of their personal residence. Because they don't stretch themselves. They don't try and buy other investments. You know, they believe in their 401k. And that's their God. You know, they don't sit up and go, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start building an empire here, and I'm going to do it multiple different ways. All I simply do is do what rich people do. That's what I started doing when I was 20. And so that's a good example. Well, going back to this story, we're talking about deficit spending and all this kind of stuff. It says here, when tax receipts decline, that means that people, the majority of people, are making less money, okay? Because the masses are employees. And I'm sorry if this offends people, but type 1 if you agree. If you are simply an employee, and just, you know, I've been a career firefighter for what, 26 years? Not career, like 23 full-time, and then a reserve and volunteer for like 3 years before that. Employees are slaves. You have to do whatever your supervisors tell you to do, and if you don't, you're fired, and you're hoping, praying for a wage increase. You're a slave. And it's like I used my job for stable income while I built businesses, so I could break out of that, and that's my hope for you. So a lot of you are agreeing with that, you know, and I guarantee you, type 1 and then 2 if you are acknowledging, yeah, being an employee, being a wage earner, you're a slave. But hey, I'm currently in that system. I understand it. I'm wanting to break free from that. That's what we need. That's what made America great. America was made great by people coming from other countries, jumping off the boat and starting a barbershop, starting a restaurant, starting, you know, a window business, starting something. And we had, the wealth was distributed so well because we had people that owned businesses. They made their own life. They were happy. They were, you know, at times scary. I know what it's like owning a business and being scared, being nervous of where your next sale's coming from. But the thing is, we need to bring that back to America. We need to make business great again. Who's here with me? Let's make business great again. And do me a favor, actually, right now, if you don't mind, hashtag This will make you rich, and this will make you rich channel, because what's going on over at that channel right now on YouTube, I'm telling you, is going to inspire, and it's not because of the people doing it. I'm telling you, that channel is blessed, and you're going to see that channel inspire so many amazing human beings around the world to finally see inside of themselves what they never saw, and that's their potential. And we're going to wake them up, and we're going to get them out of debt. We're going to get them starting their own businesses. We're going to get them buying assets, and we're going to watch the common man and woman, me, I'm right there with you. Like I want you, please understand this. No matter where I'm at today or where you're at, we are all at the exact same level for the most part. There are people with silver spoons in their mouths, but they've got their own set of issues. We are all struggling to get through high school, struggling to get through college. I didn't make it to college. I tried a couple classes, it wasn't for me. I barely made it through high school. We're all struggling at our 9-to-5 jobs. We all have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But some of us overcome at different times. But we're all the same people. If I ever forget that, no matter how successful I am, no matter how rich I am, I will lose it all if I don't remember where I came from and stay humble. And that's what we need to do. It's time to bring knowledge and understanding of hard work, accomplishments, goal setting, financial achievements to the common man and woman. We're going to elevate the masses. And that's why that channel over there started. And thank you to everyone. And Lori says, she's talking about my faith. I'm blessed. God blesses me. Jesus Christ has blessed me. But here's the other part of it. And it says this in the Bible. There are a lot of people running around going, God bless me, and they're not doing anything. God says, your faith without works, which means you got to do something, is dead. You got to understand that. Every accomplishment I ever had is because God has carried me through those times. But I had to actually move my hands and move my feet. And that's what we're going to teach people. And we're going to wake people up. There are a lot of dead people. You want to see people that are zombies? Sometimes you got to go to church. It's true. And we're going to wake everyone up because God's plan for us is to thrive. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to come before you. And these channels have only grown because God's blessed it. And this channel and the other channel are about to be shook here pretty soon because it's time to let them run free. And so again, to everyone that hashtags, I'm going to pin one of your comments. If you'll hashtag this will make you rich and hashtag this will make you rich channel. I know I'm repeating myself over and over. There's a special reason why I'm doing that. Thank you so much for doing that. And I'll pin one of those in the comment section. I hope you have a great day. The Real Estate Ninja is out.